He took a small sip from his glass and chased it with a large swallow. He gasped. It's better. I needed that. How you been doing, kid? You gonna settle in? Little by little, yeah. Still feels strange to be alone. Just you wait and get used to it. And then you start to like it. You're alone. Someone cluttering up your life with bullshit. I guess so. Something like that. It can be nice sometimes, too. There was an awkward silence. Jack lit a cigarette and rasped. Oh, let's get this rolling. Where do you want me to start? Cautiously, I said. You were talking about your son yesterday. You like telling me more? I mean, you don't have to, but I thought maybe you'd like to get Ben. Jack interrupted. His name was Ben. Tears to glass to his lips. I saw that he was shaking a tiny bit. He exhaled a cloud of rum fumes and mumbled. I never told anyone the whole story. Well, here it goes. Ben was a good kid. He behaved himself. Minded his mother. I was always hard on him, though. I was afraid that the world would eat him alive if he was too weak, so I tried my best to make him tough. He started getting an attitude with me when he got a little older. Being defiant just made me come down on him even harder. When he was a teenager, sometimes I get fed up with his smug little face. You know, I get fed up. I'd take him out to the garage. I'd scream at him, shove him around, maybe even smack him up a little. But he never fight back. I wanted him to fight back. He wouldn't do it. He'd just hide his face and he'd wait for it to be over. I looked at him with dismay and said, that isn't discipline, Jack. That's abuse. You do understand that. It wasn't considered abuse back then. Jack countered. Parents always smacked their kids, kept them in line. Some people used their belts, wooden spoon, maybe even a fly swatter. It didn't hurt them permanently, just taught them a lesson. I shook my head and demanded, what lesson? That it's okay to use violence to control someone? You're one of those people, Jack rumbled. There's no reaching your kind of people. You live up your own ass. You want to hear this or not? I clamped down my urge to argue this point further and said, yeah, keep on. Anyway, after Ben turned 16, he started cutting class all the time. His grades tanked. He always stayed out late. He wouldn't tell us where he'd been, where he was going. He was stuck at home. He locked himself in the bedroom. Me and him tried our best to avoid each other. Pretty much done with the kid. I guess he was probably done with me, too. Whenever we were in the same room together, he just had attention to the night.
Show your courage.
I waited for him to elaborate. Jack fell silent.
Who goes there?
What was the final straw? I brought it. What happened? In a lifeless tone, Jack muttered.
Someone there.
I was on my way to bed one night, and I caught him smoking weed in his room. He tried to blow it out his window, but
I want to protect everyone too.
Mother was already asleep. That's a different story. So I come busting in.
Let's begin.
Catch him red-handed. I made him toss the dope out
This
the
battle
window.
is unavoidable.
Is that why your
Lend me
grades
your
ain't worth a
strength.
shit?
I need
Is this
to be
why you
brave.
hide away in your room all the time? Stared at nothing, waited for him to stop.
We shall take back what we lost.
It didn't even matter. I could barely contain myself. So I pushed him into the hallway, told him, go out to the garage. We're gonna sort this out. In the garage, ripped into him for a while. Just kept getting madder and madder. Even bed. Just standing there with his head down the whole time, waiting
I
for
want
it
to
to be over.
protect everyone too.
Christ, this pissed me off so bad. I ended up whacking him across the face with a backhand. He stumbled
Lend
over
me
the
your
shelf,
strength.
knocked over a can of paint on the floor. I pointed at the paint sprayer and yelled, "Look at that, prick. You need to clean that up." And this look.
You know nothing of the way. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Here it comes. Finally, he's gonna fight back.
There's always a weakness.
Lance at the ready.
I'm not afraid of you.
Jack's voice became husky. Cleared his throat. Took a deep
You'll
swallow
pay
from his
for
glass.
this. We've entered the storm.
He filled with tears
To
bleeding in
guard
his
and
eyes.
defend.
And
Crush them.
picked himself up. Straight good. Looks me in the eye and says, "It's bad,
Someone
I'm
there.
gay."
Who goes there? Someone there.
Just froze up like a statue. Couldn't believe it. At the same time, I wasn't surprised. I'd always known that.
I want to protect everyone too.
He grabbed him and shoved him at the wall. I didn't make any sense out of what he was saying. What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Leave it to
Then
me.
he didn't cower away from me. Not this time. Pushed me back.
You
know what
nothing
it
of the way.
means.
Survive
It means
or
I'm
be
gay.
destroyed. There is no other choice.
This battle is unavoidable.
Jack muttered.
It's time.
Put your fucking hands up.
Need to be brave.
In the stomach. The floor called back to his feet.
For some hardship.
No, put your fucking hands up. Fight me. Come on. Still trying to catch his breath. Just
We
shook his
shall
head,
take back what we
pressed against
lost.
the wall, and I was so fucking mad. Could have killed him. I told him, "I ain't gonna beat any of that shit under my roof. Do you understand me? What's your mother gonna say? What do you think this is gonna do to your mother?
I see.
It's not gonna do anything, Mom. It's not her life. It's mine." So that was that. I didn't want to.
I want to protect everyone too.
Told him, "You need to pack your shit and get the fuck out of my house." He said, "I'll leave tonight. You won't ever see me again."
Let's begin.
My alarm
You'll
went
pay
off.
for this. Lend me your strength.
He was gone.
I'm not afraid of you.
I realized I was leaning forward in my chair. My hands gripped together, a knot of tension. I sat up straight and gulped down some beer. It barely even started. It was already getting rough. Even so, I wanted to hear the rest of Jack's stories, his confession, his I wanted every awful detail. Because he was right. We all have a morbid fascination with the dark side of humanity. Infamy turns bad people into pseudo-celebrities. They're vile and revered at the same time. People love to clutch their pearls. But they look at the underbelly of society, but they still look. Don't they? Jack angrily wiped his sleeve across his eyes. He croaked. Ben was wrong. I saw him one more time before he died. About 8 months after he left. I was driving home on 5th Avenue. On my way home, I saw Ben sitting on the curb. He was all by himself. I only saw him for a couple seconds, but I'm pretty sure he had a black eye. He was looking awfully thin. Looked like he hadn't eaten a square meal in weeks.
Lance the
My
blaze.
head in dismay.
Lance forward.
He looked at
We've entered
me,
the
stopped to
storm.
talk to him.
To guard and defend. Crush
Jack
them.
quavered. No, I didn't stop. I thought to myself, that's your son, for Christ's sake. Turn around and go back.
I want to protect everyone too.
But I didn't. Kept driving.
Leave it to me.
Stinging down. Months later,
Lance
he
at the
was dead.
ready.
I told his mother I saw him that day.
Not a step back.
This battle is unavoidable.
She'll never know the truth. Promptly. What's the truth? Say it out loud. Jack took a bigger swallow from his glass, licked his lips.
Let's begin.
He breathed.
You know nothing of the survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Didn't have nothing to do with the gang. I had to save him. I didn't want to admit I was wrong. My own pride was more important.
Leave it to me.
And half my beer suddenly disappeared down my throat. I belched behind
You'll
my
pay
hand
for this.
and took a deep cleansing
I'm
breath.
on guard.
My shiny
Let's
mouth.
begin.
Jack muttered.
Stay close.
I want to protect everyone too.
We were spinning out.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend.
Really fucked up thing to do. You understand that? I mean, fucking hell, man. I really don't know what to say. Let's change the subject. How about that? You want to hear about Vietnam? He muttered, and he poured himself some more rum. Of course you do. Seen the movies, now you want to know what it was really like. I nodded and said, guilty as charged. Tell me about the war. Jack studied his glass and gathered his thoughts. He said, it wasn't like World War II. It was guerrilla warfare. Top brass said, we've got more troops, more firepower, so we'll eventually win. Those guys didn't understand the jungle. They didn't understand the enemy. Charlie was defending his country from invaders. He had something to believe in. Us, we didn't even want to be there. Jack stopped talking and nursed his drink in silence. Go on, I prompted. He gave me a disgruntled look. We got all night. Give me time to figure out how to say it. I'm not much of a talker. I apologized, wait for him to continue. Anyway, he grumbled. These people were tough as nails. Live in underground tunnels, eat nothing but rice for weeks on end. You come to a village, they'd tell you there were no VC hiding there. And you start poking around, you'd end up finding the entrance to a tunnel in a pig pen. VC looked different from Honkai. They didn't always look like soldiers. They could look like anybody. Everywhere, nowhere, all at once. Paranoia would get to you after a while. And when you saw them, might secretly be the enemy. And even when the VC weren't around, you had to watch out for their booby traps. One of my best friends almost died because he got stuck in a puncher stick. What's a puncher stick? The Jack made a sour face. A bamboo pole with a sharp point. You'd hide them in a pit, put them in a ditch, either side of a trail. The sniper opens fire, you all dive into the ditch, someone gets impaled on a stick. Shit. Raging infection in no time. Made a disgusted face and shuddered. I said, or something else, isn't it? Jack gave me a grim look. It wasn't just the Kong we had to watch out for. Even the jungle wanted to kill you. There were vipers, venomous centipedes, parasites, leeches, all kinds of shit out there. Yeah, that's right, leeches, huge, slimy fucking things. You wake up in the morning and peel off 6, 8, 10 of those motherfuckers. Mosquitoes were horrible too. They carried dengue fever and malaria. You had to take a pill every day so you wouldn't get sick. We called it the Daily Daily. Jack smirked a bit, my obvious discomfort. He said, you asked for details, didn't you? Shit, I barely scratched the surface. I popped open another beer and tipped it back. I was starting to get a buzz. I was pretty sure I was gonna need it. I let out another discreet belch and asked, what's your best memory from the war? Jack smiled a little. He said, we just finished taking back a city called Hugh. Fighting from house to house, street to street. I barely ate, got any sleep for the whole time. I was running on a combination of Dexedrine and fear. I was so fucking scared that whole time. Can't even imagine. Anyway, we found all these big earthenware jars of rice in a cellar. After the nightmare we just went through, you better believe we wanted to get that wine pretty bad. We all were scared the NVA poisoned it before they left. Finally, one of the guys said, oh, fuck it, and started drinking. We all sat in a circle, waited to see if you were gonna die. Didn't die. So we all got drunk. We snorted some involuntary laughter. So it's pretty dark, you know?
Time for some hardship.
I could tell he was already sliding from first to the bottom. He probably did every night. But this time it was different. Tonight, Jack Werner was going to let it all out. He was going to lay it all bare for his audience, for one. I was feeling things might get downright ugly. I wasn't just ready for it. I wanted it. I was darkly fascinated by Jack because he was a shit human being. If it weren't for the war, Jack's life probably would have taken an entirely different trajectory. The powers that be had stolen his youth and murdered his innocence. After all, shit human beings are. Everyone's shaped by the environment, and Jack was no different.
I'm afraid of you.
I raised my can and said, well, for what it's worth, I'm glad you didn't get poisoned. How about you tell me the story of how you met your wife?
I hope I helped.
Yeah, that's the question. He said, thinking it's all words tonight. Oh, well, I met her at an apple orchard. We both got hired on to fall
I want to protect everyone too.
She was the one who convinced me to settle down. Good job. Some roots. At first,
I'm on guard.
Stop having so many nightmares. I feel like I was part of my surroundings again.
I hope I helped.
I went to go see the deer hunter. Things started to go south after that. I was having nightmares again. Drinking to drown them out. And the fight. Lost a good job at an auto plant because I had a bitchin' hangover and I was feeling mean. Wife was furious at me. She stood over me at the kitchen table and yelled, "How are we supposed to pay for this house with this boy? What are we gonna do?" I told her, maybe you should stop yelling and go pick some fucking apples. She wouldn't listen. She slapped me across the face. She said, "Don't you ever raise your hand at me again, stupid bitch." I'll be damned if she didn't try that. Jack said in a wondering tone. That was the last straw. I told her, you're trying.
Time for some
I want to protect everyone too.
Dare push me. Fucking dare.
Need a doctor?
Do nothing of they'll survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice. Let's begin.
Let me tend your wounds.
Timely treatment.
Tell me about your divorce. Why let me finally leave? The smile was gone.
I want to protect everyone too.
Leave it to me.
Filed for divorce a few months after the It's like that, it was done. I started to ask.
Lance at the ready.
Timely treatment.
Okay, your turn. How about you? Why are you sitting here on my board? Why aren't you still with your better half? I felt my jaw tightening. Flare of resentment. I shot back. We aren't talking about me. We're talking about you. Why not? His smile was back, but now it's gleaming with hostility. You asked me about my divorce. I'm asking you about yours. What happened? I glared at her and I snapped. She fell for a guy at work, and kick me out. Well, fuck it up. Jack, you toasted me back with a glass of rum. Ain't that some shit? What did you do to make her turn to another man? You gave a side-eye, muttered. What's that supposed to mean? She wanted to be with you, but then she didn't. Jack explained politely. So what happened? I stabbed the finger and hissed. It's none of your business. You want me to leave? I'll go right now. Oh, now he wants to leave. Jack said. He was still smiling. Fine. But I said, back to me. Yes. Ask me something. Go ahead. I clamped on my anger. That was exactly the response I was looking for. I was denying the pleasure.
You know nothing of the weight behind
Shrugged it off
survive
and
or
said,
be destroyed. There is no
Well,
other
question.
choice.
How about, what was it like for you when you came back from
Lance ablaze.
Jack studied his glass of rum, looking for assurance when it's my gas. Well,
I need to be brave.
Annihilate. Let's
it's gone
begin.
for 13 months. At home, a lot of things.
Stay close. Not a
Guys my age were running around with long hair, tie-dye shirts, and miniskirts.
Give it up.
I had no idea this cultural revolution was happening. After I got off the plane and saw it for myself. I fully expected to come home a hero. I
I want to protect everyone too.
fucking hated us. The day I came back to America, someone spit on me. I had just gotten out of a taxi on my ear. The girl came up to me and said, "Welcome back, baby." Spit on me. She went,
I'm not afraid of you.
Annihilate.
On my mark. Here stands the Silvermane Guard.
Leave it to me.
spoiled brat. Soft little child
Lance ablaze.
who had never had to lift a finger in her entire life. Comes clomping up in her sandals, bell-bottom jeans,
Let me tend your wounds.
spits on her. Freaking baby killer? That's all I did all day. Walk around, shooting babies.
It's time.
I need to be brave.
That wasn't right. People did have plenty to be mad about. There was a war going on that
hope
nobody
I
wanted.
helped.
Protests were being shut down by the cops. A bunch of kids ended up getting shot by the National Guard at Kent State University. Nobody had any right to give you a hard time about your service. You didn't have a reason to be angry. Jack scoffed at me and said, "It's not like I had a choice in the matter, did I? I wasn't going to get a college deferment like all the smart kids. I wasn't going to dodge the draft, run away to Canada like all the rich kids either. The rest of us didn't have a choice. All those peaceniks and protesters thought they knew what was going on. They didn't understand the reality of the situation. The worst thing to me was that even though most of them were dumb as fuck, they were so right. It was a bullshit war. We got involved for bullshit reasons. In the end, what did we do? We gave up. We let the NBA take all those lives. Suffer.
You know nothing of survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
I want to protect everyone too.
The truth is,
Annihilate.
reality is really funny, you know? Anyone who thinks otherwise is lying. Rejected me. I grew my hair out to fit in.
Leave it to me.
Lead the life they wanted you to lead. House, kid, green lawns, church suppers, all that bullshit. Pride,
Let me tend your wounds.
I'm on guard.
the war with years and thousands of miles behind me.
Lance ablaze. Lance
That's all
forward.
the answer. Eliminated on my next question. I read it here. I don't even can. I'll go to another.
Top one is your prescription.
Nice teamwork.
I don't really know. The heat of battle.
Need a
It'd
doctor?
be hard to say.
I
I want to protect everyone too.
I'm when we're babies.
Annihilate.
But I can't say they weren't the enemy.
You know nothing of the weight behind this path. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
I gritted my teeth at the coward.
Let me pin your
Using
wound.
rashness and statement. I leaned closer and snapped.
I'm not afraid of you.
Eliminate threat.
Crossfire?
You don't look
Jack
so
froze in
good.
his chair.
Hiya!
Gave me a dark stare from across the table.
That won't stop me.
Probably not wrong. On.
Lance at the ready.
Crossing the line.
I need to be brave.
Sure.
Hide. You know nothing of the weight. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
You want to see me care about crossing lines. Not even So, you're Mr. Perfect over here. Your woman didn't seem to think
Let's
so,
begin.
did she? I gave him that
Lance the blade.
smile.
Lance
Sultry, enthusiastic thumbs up. He said, good one, Jack. That's it.
I want to protect
It's been
everyone
a while
too.
since anyone pushed back against the rancid
I'm not
bullshit.
afraid of you.
Let me tell you something, man. It's not because I'm afraid of
Timely treatment.
you. Jack opened his mouth and began to rebuttal. I raised my voice and cut him off. He said, be quiet, listen. Let me explain what I do.
Stand down.
When you're being
Lance at the
shitty
ready.
to a stranger, cash register, they honestly don't give a fuck. You know why? Because you'll be gone in a minute or two. They don't have to deal with you. That's what I'm talking about, Jack. No one cares enough to engage with you. Get it? But it's different when you're being a prick to someone close to you, isn't it? They push back. You don't like that.
You know nothing of the survive
So you
or be
drove
destroyed.
everyone away. You
There
can't
is no
handle the
other choice.
consequences of your
I'm
own
on guard.
actions.
I need to be brave.
Annihilate.
You don't know. You don't know about the fight. You sure as hell don't know about the war.
Can't relax.
You don't know anything at all, so don't you use your tone with me. Not me. Don't you dare. Why not?
Let's begin.
You were in a war 50 years ago? How long is that going to be your crutch? Are you gonna snivel about
Lance
it
the
forever?
blaze.
Fucking let it go, for Christ's sake. Jack shoved his chair back.
Don't go, dickhead.
Spilled
I
a wave
didn't
of beer,
talk to you.
rum, and citronella across the table in the process. He panted, shut your mouth. That's not how it goes, dickhead. I do the talking. You shut the fuck up and listen. Talk to me again like that. And I swear to God, I'll knock your dick in the dirt. I stood up too. My face burning in the darkness. I beckoned him with a curled finger and said, I'm not Ben. I'll fight back. I'll give you what you're looking for. Jack's fist lashed out like a weapon, connected with my chin. I stumbled back with stars in my eyes. He shoved the table out of his way and came for me, splashing beer and rum all over the splintering floorboards underfoot. I stepped forward with my fists clenched, and I promptly caught a sharp jab in my mouth. I charged into Jack's next punch with my head down, and I tackled him around the waist. We slipped into the puddle of booze, and I landed on top of him. Jack let out a sharp cry of pain when he hit the deck. His fingers started clawing for my eyes. I shoved his hands away and clobbered him in the face. He tried to cover up his head with his arms, so I pinned him with my knees and hit him again. I popped him a third time and drew back my fist to give him a fourth. Something jagged and primal had been released from the depths of my soul. I wanted to punch his face.
Oh,
with a
shit.
blade. I wanted to kill him. I hissed, are you done, fuckhead? You want some more? Jack smiled up at me and I saw blood in his teeth. He wheezed. Come on, coward. Keep going. I looked down at his wild eyes, his bleeding face, and just like that, my rage was gone. It felt dirty. I whispered, no, I won't do it. I heard a door swing open somewhere across the street, and a woman shouted, if you don't knock it off over there, I'm gonna call the cops! I stood up on shaky legs and spat a mouthful of blood over the railing. I hollered back, "Everything's fine. Mind your own business. Go to bed." Jack sat up and mumbled, "Tell her, boss. Give her hell." I felt my stomach do a lazy roll in my gut. I grimly swallowed down a wave of nausea. Crouched down to stare Jack in his eyes. I said, "Last question, Jack.
Show
What's
your
the worst
courage.
thing you ever did?
A little something for everyone.
Tell me the truth, you shit in your ass. Let it all. I don't think Jack is good answer.
I want to protect everyone too.
You bully!
Kill someone. I thought I'd break someone's face with the butt of a rock.
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength. I'm not afraid of you.
Annihilate.
You don't look so good.
Burn their entire lives to the ground. So many horrible things.
Stay back, Clara.
I want to protect everyone too.
This is
Mission combat. Mission combat.
I waited to see if there was more. Jack was finished. There's nothing more to say.
You shall take back what we lost.
I looked up at the stars, shining so soft in their lovely perch, far away from the filth and madness of humankind.
Show your courage.
Deep breath and going home. Jack held his ribs with one hand, pulled tough with his feet with the other, clutching at the
You know nothing of survive or be
He lifted his
destroyed.
shirt to wipe
There is
blood
no
off
other
his
choice.
face. There's nothing good in this world.
Stay back, Clara.
Not ever.
Stay back, Clara.
Never stops, kid.
All right. Stay back, Clara. Time for some hardship.
I paused on the bottom step and I said, I pity you. I don't know what else to say except
We've entered the storm.
fuck
To
you.
guard and defend. Crush them.
Fuck off.
You don't look so good. Thanks.
I'll never forget you. I need to
Don't
be
ever talk
brave.
to me again.
I want to protect everyone too.
I marched directly into my bathroom and cleaned up his face. I had a few cuts in my mouth,
Always a weakness.
split my upper lip.
Lend me your strength.
When I was done, I struggled out of my pants, crawled into bed. I was
Leave it
drunk.
to me.
The room was spinning yards away from the circle. Never stops. There's no way out.
Show your courage.
I dreamed I was running through the jungle again. I could see the choppers clearing far ahead.
Troublesome.
I tried to reach them, but the field was too heavy. It's too far away.
Assistance is timely.
In just a few seconds, they'd be flying up over the treetops, soaring back to freedom. They left behind.
You'll pay for this. Lend me
Wake
your
up before the
strength.
choppers on the ground. You have to wake up. Stop it. My eyes flew open. Then I hopped out of bed. I knew what he was going to do, and for better or worse, I had to save him. For the sake of my own soul, I had to try. It was so dark outside. Jack's car was idling in the driveway. The garden hose was taped to the exhaust pipe, looped around the car, the driver's side window, and I could see Jack sitting behind the wheel.
Time for some
His eyes were
hardship.
open, but they were staring into the void. The door was locked. I ripped away the strip of duct tape from the top of the window and smashed it with a rock. Jack let out a confused grunt as I dragged him onto the front lawn. He curled up onto his side and started to weakly cough into the grass. My head was pounding with a ferocious headache, and the exertion of dragging a fully grown man didn't help much. I knelt down beside him in the wet grass and gasped, "You can't die yet. Not like this."
We've entered
He
the
pushed
storm.
himself up to a sitting position
To
and
guard and
squawked.
defend. Crush
He
them.
said, "Why not?"
You know nothing of the
Why'd you
weight
stop
behind
me?
this. Survive or be
Rubbed my
destroyed.
temples inside.
There is no other
It'd still do
choice.
some good before you die. It's not
There's
too late.
always a weakness.
You make this world a slightly better place. They gave me.
Lend me your strength.
How the hell am I supposed to do that?
Annihilate.
I'm gonna volunteer at a soup kitchen? What are you even talking about? I don't know. Or if you'll even try. All I know for sure is that you're a human being. You take it from there is up to you. Help him to his feet. He held his left side and gasped.
Let's begin.
I don't know. But I'm not sorry. I told him. I started to walk away. Called over my shoulder. Phone the cops if you want to press charges. I'll show them my lip. They'll end up charging us both. I don't care. If not, I wish you good luck in life. I hope you find peace. I left Jack standing there in his guard.
Assistance is timely.
Leave it to me.
I wasn't sure.
You know nothing of the survive or be
The hero
destroyed.
and the villain
There is no other choice.
often seen first.
There's always a weakness.
Situations are black and white. Echo the past. Don't need to follow us in the future.
We've entered the storm.
They're all different.
To guard and defend. Crush them.
That does make
I
me
need to be
less
brave.
Some
This
form of
battle is
redemption is
unavoidable.
always lurking.
Lend me your strength.
I'm not afraid
I'll
of
have
you.
time to do some good. If Jack can do it, so can you. He got sober and started a support group of veterans. You hear them out in his backyard.
Hope I
when the
helped.
weather's fair. Speaking in hushed tones about their experiences both on and off the battlefield. Sometimes it's laughter. Sometimes it's tears. They're a circle of shattered souls.
Someone there.
What are their peers there, keeping themselves together?
Time for some hardship.
There's something
Good.
super beautiful. To this day, Jack and I are still on the speed. I don't think you'd ever
Thanks.
I'm
I
glad
want to
you-
protect everyone too.
I have no need to communicate with him. He's just judging him for his actions in the past. That wouldn't be good for either one of us. After a lot of self-reflection, I was finally able to face my own demons. It took time to learn that I could share my
You'll
time
pay
with
for
someone
this.
else that's still...
Lend me your strength.
I recently started seeing
Let's
someone new.
begin.
Neither of us wants to rush into anything heavy. It's nice to just enjoy someone's company and not feel any pressure.
I want to protect everyone too.
If anything, it's actually making sense. No expectations means no disappointments. And we both like that just fine. I have nothing else to say, except to remind you that
Yeah,
the
they're
past
passive
is
as
behind you.
fuck, obviously. Low defense and
Future.
preparing empathy.
It's out of your reach. The present is where we exist. We're here. And the perfect time to turn it all around is right now. Hey there kids, it's me and Mr. Creepypasta, and I want to tell you thanks so much for watching tonight's video or listening to tonight's episode of the podcast. Quick reminder, I am also a narrator of the show.
Time for some hardship.
If you guys like the stories that you're listening to here, then I'm sure you'll like the stories that you can listen to over at Chilling, because they're almost the same thing, I'm still narrating them, but you can select your own background music or background sounds, and you can select a whole mess of other narrators, such as Autumn Ivy, Swamp Dweller, and a bunch of my own
Leave it to
friends.
me.
If you guys are interested in checking out Chilling Out, starting up with a free trial, you can use the link in the description down below, or you can head over to chillingout.com and also use those free trials to win prizes from their giveaways. And as always, I would love to give a big thank you to everyone who's supporting me over on Patreon. You guys are the real MVPs. You guys keep things going, especially, well, things have been nuts for me over the past couple of months. I think it's been getting crazier and crazier as time goes on. You guys are the ones who are keeping me safe, and I mean that with all sincerity. You guys have helped me immensely. So, in my personal life and my professional life, I want to give a very big thank you to
Jordan Alexander Sanchez. In defense, Chance Brennan, Diana Krause. Jacqueline Gonzalez, Mystery Foster Pepsi, Cat, Joseph Hallelujah, Rudy, Dante Kincaid, Foxhound 803, Mephistopheles, Curse Fox Runner, Bastion Beefcake, Jeff Killers Hope, Love You M&M, Insanity Gamer X, Mr. Cornell, Jargle, Amber Police, Jay Journey, Nico Jerry, Sam Mahana, Crusader Chocobo, Adamaria, Captain Skirby, Escadine, Raymond Morris, Nate Cole, Our Mini Set Time, Rufus, Beck Beefcake, Red Shadowcat, Xavier and Giant, 6-Day Raptor Trenchcoat, Turtleman, Carolini, Lord Life's Best, Goring Star Magazine, Mr. Marcus Blitz, Michael Limshot, Jerk Diver 030,
I
Matt
hope
Fox,
I
Mr.
help.
Sam, Kelly J, Michael Mel, Living Your Account, Melted Lake, Ellie Sue, Wayne K, Sashi Sasaki, Stricken, Happy birthday, Jason Wilson, Mr. Trap, Gatsby, Iggy Matthew, Peter Chip, Acid System, Mom, Kiwi the Sloth, Dustin Lampshade, Nico Kaya, The Ginger Bros, and Stone Pro, Daniel Paulson, and Joey.
To everyone on this list, everyone in the description, and of course anyone who could support even just $1, thank you all so much for making my life significantly easier with this. And if you guys would like to be able to join any of the names that you see here or down there or anything at all, head over to patreon.com/MrCreepyPasta. And with that, I wish you all a very, very pleasant night and sweet dreams. The living room smelled like someone had drowned a skunk and left its corpse in a pile of gym socks. Inches from the ceiling, smoke lingered like a thick white fog over everyone's heads. Floating in the shadows, the cloud appeared stationary and motionless. But as it passed the purple beam with a black light mounted on the wall, it transformed, swirling and twirling into itself like a psychedelic tapestry of corkscrews and spirals. There was a horror movie called Murder Dome playing on the TV. Nobody was watching it. Instead, nearly every saggy, bloodshot eye in the room was trained on the trippy spectacle hovering in the air before them. Only Jerry's attention was elsewhere. He was kneeling at the dinged-up wooden coffee table in front of the couch, putting the finishing touches on the joint that he'd been rolling. Once it was packed tight enough, he sealed it shut, flipped the butt in his mouth, and then swept the loose stems onto the floor. "Anyone got a light?" he asked. No one replied, and when he glanced up towards his friends, he realized just how big everyone was. Ani, for instance, had become one with the couch. He had melted so far into his pillows that it was impossible to tell where human being ended and the sofa's cushions began. Liz, who'd been wearing the same ratty sweatsuit for the past 3 days, was curled up on the other side of the sofa.
You'll
Her
pay for
mind
this.
drifted
Lend me
into
your
the
strength.
mythical world of rainbows, unicorns, and grinning kitty cat that spoke in rhymes and riddles. Jerry turned his attention to the hefty
I'll
stone.
never forget you.
He had thought Spud was asleep, so it came as a surprise, but he managed to make eye contact with him. Before he was able to repeat the question, Spud lifted his arm a few millimeters off of his lap and extended a little finger towards the cedar box on the table. Jerry nodded with appreciation. He'd only been hanging out with these guys for a few weeks, but at the time, he'd come to realize they were even a bigger pothead.
Survive or be destroyed.
It was fun.
There is no other
He
choice.
just moved into the city, and it was nice to make friends who shared his favorite hobby of getting really blitzed
Lend me your
and passing out
strength.
on the TV.
I need to be brave.
He couldn't think of a more appropriate way to ring in his birthday. At midnight, he'd been entering his 28th year. All he had to show for it was a low-level IT job
Lend me
working
your
for a tech
strength.
company that paid him
I
just
like to
well
protect
enough to
everyone
make
too.
rent from a one-bedroom apartment. He had studied hard in school, got a degree, and yet when he looked himself in the mirror, all he saw was a failure. No more prospects than a washout.
Lend me your strength.
The American dream he had been promised was bullshit. The white picket fence, smiling wife, and beautiful children who looked like they were ripped straight out of a Hallmark film were lies.
Let's begin.
Todd would forget all about that, which is why he spent as much time
We've
as he
entered the
could
storm.
baked off his
To
ass.
guard and defend.
Jerry reached around a bong that hadn't been cleaned for weeks, grabbed the box with the words "not weed" scrawled across it sharply, then rummaged around inside until he found what he was looking for. There was nothing special about the lighter at a glance. It was plastic and vaguely rectangular, with rounded edges and no distinct markings of any kind. He'd used lighters like it a million times before. They were sold at every gas station, liquor store, and supermarket checkout line in the United States. This one was white, which was a little less common than other colors, but it was still far from the first time he'd seen one in the wild. Nothing about it raised any sort of alarms, but when he gave the spark wheel a flick with his thumb,
He drew in a sharp breath of disbelief. Perhaps the room's ultraviolet light was playing a trick on his eyes. Maybe he was just really high, but for some strange reason he couldn't understand. The flame that had risen from the top of the lighter he was holding in his hand was an unfathomably deep black. There was something sinister about it. He was magnificent, yet dreadful, like staring into the vastness of the cosmos. And he found himself so mesmerized by it that it took a few moments to realize the flame was slowly roasting his thumb. When the pain signals finally did register in his brain, he slipped the joint between his lips and then raised the strange lighter towards his mouth. No! The shout had frozen him in his tracks. Jerry glanced towards the couch just in time to see Anuj lunging across the table at him, teeth clenched and nostrils flaring. Anuj slapped the lighter from his hand and tackled him to the floor. The two wrestled, rolling over crumpled paper bags and plastic cups stamped with fast food logos, until Jerry was able to shake himself free. He checked the joint to see if it had been damaged in the scuffle, and let out a sigh of relief once he confirmed it was smokable, and then threw his hands in the air. What the hell, dude? But Anuj was too busy mumbling to himself while searching the floor to acknowledge Jerry's complaint. A few muffled curse words later, he let out a triumphant cry and snatched the lighter off the ground. Aha! Once he had what he was looking for, he stood up and glared at Spud. His eyes were as red as a baboon's ass. He could only open about halfway. But even so, Jerry could see a glint of panic in them. Did you put the lighter in the stash box? Anuj asked. No way, man, said Spud. I haven't seen that thing for a week. Last time I had it, I threw it over the fence in the backyard. You know what? You know that won't work, snapped Anuj. He spun around. What about you, Liz? Liz took the biggest lick of the dab ring that Jerry had ever seen, then blew a massive cloud towards the ceiling that merged like a amoeba with the one already in the room.
I'm okay.
Delicately, she reached a high-powered, battery-powered vaporizer on the floor.
You know nothing of the survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Have tacos if you pick food.
Just a little something.
Jerry placed the joint behind his ear. Then, to get everyone's attention, clapped his hands together as loud as he could. The sound caused Anuj and Spud to jerk, as if a bolt of electricity had just coursed through them. Liz, on the other hand, only sunk deeper into the couch, distant, smiling. What the hell is the deal with the lighter? He demanded. And why did you tackle me to the ground? Jerry, tomorrow's your birthday, right? Asked Anuj. How old are you, Turnip? I'll be 28 at midnight. What the hell does that have to do with anything? There was a long moment of silence. After that, the only sound filtering into the room, coming from the movie and the television, which was playing a particularly violent scene. The man was being impaled by a cyborg with a bow tie. Finally, Spud spoke up. Shit, I'm tired, dude. You can't use the lighter, he said. It's cursed. Another hush now washed over the room as Jerry began to wonder just how much weed his friends had burned through before they had shown up.
I want to protect everyone too.
How high are you? He asked. Higher than an eagle's nutsack.
Stand down.
But that doesn't change the fact that this lighter is cursed. It's for you, man.
Just a little something.
He swiped at Anuj with a lethargic wave of his hand.
No treatment.
Tell him if he's going to be coming out this soon. That granddaddy purple he brought with him. God.
I'm not afraid of you.
Jerry burst into a fit of laughter. The laughs were coming on so hard that his abdomen cramped up and he doubled over in pain. He grabbed his sides and rolled backward onto the rug while the others, and Liz, watched him whoop and howl on the floor. He couldn't help himself. The thought was too ridiculous. Plus, he was already stoned, so that wasn't helping the giggles pass either. After it felt like an eternity, the cramping started to subside, and once he was through the worst of it, he sat back up and wiped the tears from his eyes. You've got to be kidding me, he said.
I want to protect
Nobody was
everyone.
laughing. And he noticed a particular aura had settled over the room ever since the lighter had made its appearance. Anuj flicked the lighter, groaned when he saw its jet black flame emerge from the tip, then flopped himself
hope I
back down to the couch. It's like this, he said to Jerry. We used to have another roommate at his house, Tommy.
No.
He was a great dude to know, because he was always flush with weed. Plus, he didn't mind making food runs if people got the munchies. Is someone gonna pick up tacos?
Tommy was good to us, said Spike, throwing up the sign of the devil.
No reason.
Lance the blaze.
He was good to us. Not just us. He sold weed to college kids.
Just a little.
After a while, he kept getting
Treatment. Nug here, and there. At
That's
the end of the week,
Thanks.
he'd pull it all together,
I'll never forget
have
you.
a fat smoke session.
Target threat index lowered. High.
Some chick said she got the number from one of the regulars. She asked if she could buy some weed, so
Gives you our address, tells you to swing by.
Lance at the ready.
So you know
bingo, chicken,
I hope I helped.
Listen, said Spike. We had the good thing. Anyway, she was carrying some really bad vibes when she walks in. Everyone could feel it. Total buzzkill, you know what I mean? Jerry didn't know what honors meant, but he nodded his head anyway. So she wanted to smoke with him. But Tommy told her a little white lie and said,
No!
"About to go
How?
scrub."
Liz sat up in her chair, eyes sparkling. I saw her.
No,
Nothing
Papa.
survive or be destroyed. There is no
Tommy
other
handed
choice.
her an eighth baggie, weighted hands like this.
Lance the blaze.
He held up the light in front of him.
She knew he was ripping her off, said Jerry. Anna was sharp finger guns. Bingo.
Let's
Got
begin.
cocky.
Tommy was skipping through as much as any amount of time for this call.
Just a little something.
What happened? Even offered her an extra gram on the house. She wasn't having it. And that's when she got this wicked look in her eye. Threw her head back and started attacking. Pulled the lighter out of her
I want
purse.
to protect
Now,
everyone.
Anna,
That's your fault.
Magic wand. She mumbled something in Latin. Aramaic. Could be French. I don't really know. Then she said, "May the black flame snuff
to
out
me.
your life."
that's when the fire started. Said something.
That's just that. Like she unleashed demons and hell spawns in
I'm
you
on
guys?
guard.
Yeah, it was more like she put the lighter on and kind of waved at all of us from the side. Oh, said Jerry. And she
I want
left.
to protect everyone
Tossed
too.
the lighter.
That's your fault.
Lord, take her weed. That's not the end of the story. Annie's leaning forward in his chair to make sure Jerry was paying attention to this part. We all laughed her crazy ass off, but those bad vibes.
Feeling in your back. A few minutes later, Tommy got a call from someone at the dorms.
Just in time.
Snagged a pre-roll for the road.
How can I not
Told us
see that? That is bullshit.
we get a knock on the door late that night.
Open it up, it was a cop standing on the porch. I almost shit your pants, but I had to use the shit in my pocket.
There is no other
Just
choice.
finished smoking fat ass.
Whoa, said Jerry.
That's better.
Did they arrest you?
Lance at the ready.
The cop wasn't there for that. He said, "You
Let's
can't
begin."
tell us Tommy had been killed in a car accident on his way
The
to the
blaze.
How can I not see that? That's bullshit, man.
cops. Garbage bag full of stuff.
I'm on
Clothes, busted screen,
Time for some hardship.
couple magazines.
They kept the weed. Don't spot.
Fucking A, they did. And last but not least, at the bottom
Look
of
at that bullshit.
this white light. Same one that witch Raven cursed us with. We flicked it on again, and Jerry could see its black flame.
Dude, out of nowhere, that's garbage, man.
That's really awful.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna use my
I
skin.
don't
anymore.
understand why you think the lighter had anything to do with it.
You gonna target me again?
Have you ever heard
I'll slow you down, assholes. Slow, fuck you. Fuck you, alright? Good go.
A list of rock stars.
How can I not see that?
It's fun. I he started counting names off of his fingers.
Jimi Hendrix?
Whitehouse. Don Henley, said Spike. Don Henley's not dead.
You know nothing of
But
the
here's the thing.
survive or be
All
destroyed.
celebrities in
There is no
27
other
they
choice.
reported that he used a white lighter shipping through untimely devices. Tommy
Just a little
20 seconds.
Nice teamwork.
This Raven chick heard the rumor too and
Lance at the
decided to mess with you. That's Jerry.
Free to heal.
Annie reached for a Fortnite Times magazine, sitting on the table, began flipping through the pages. Once he found what he was looking for, he folded the magazine back and pointed to a picture of an article about Jim Morrison. In the photo, Morrison was leading a knife rifle. On his arm was a pretty woman with black hair and a fair complexion. That's her. That's Raven. That's the witch that cursed us. Jim Morrison died a few weeks after this picture was
It's
taken.
time.
There was a white lighter in the room with him when he passed. Guess who? Jerry started the picture. You're saying the woman who came to buy weed from you is really a 70-year-old witch that killed Jim Morrison?
I want to protect everyone
She's
too.
easily over 100. The first member of 27 Club is the
Nothing of the
blues
witch
musician,
survive or be
Robert.
destroyed. There is no other choice.
There aren't any photos of her. But with other members, we Googled all night, found her links to a ton of people in that list. Our guess is she's personally responsible for the deaths of every member of the 27 Club that she used. Why would a witch kill celebrity? Waste her time on you guys. Because she's a bitch.
Just a
She
little.
probably curses anyone with that lighter who pisses her off. Who knows how many 27-year-olds have coked up with you? Just hear about the famous ones. The weed's making you guys paranoid, said Jerry.
I hope
Think
I
about what you're
help.
saying. Your roommate dies, you fall down some conspiracy rabbit hole? And there's only one who died. I was sweat. Jerry continued to scold. About 2 weeks later, we're at the Get Rip Music Festival. We meet up at Spud's old college. These guys were absolutely tripping every time they caught up. X, coke, ketamine, one of them, this guy named Bruce, pulls out a blunt. Asks for a light, so Spud gets the guy self-respecting for these people.
I'm on
Reaches into
guard.
his fanny pack,
Let
gets
the
the fire,
blaze.
lights that mother up. It's only after Bruce's blunt and a solid cherry going did any of us notice Spud lighter.
You know nothing of the survive or be destroyed.
I would take
There
a
is no
ton
other
of
choice.
choice, said Spud. Nobody else packed the lighter either. I know because I double-checked this fanny pack when we got to the festival.
Leave it to
wasn't
me.
in there. Spud had lit this dude Fisher with. So he's chiefing. We're all kind of just sitting around nervously waiting for something
I
to
need to
happen.
be brave. I want to protect everyone too.
I thought he was going to get hit by a car. I knew he got out of this point inside. You were at a music festival. How the hell was he going to get by a car? What actually happened is this. About halfway through his blunt, Bruce starts rubbing his temples and making his vision disappear.
That'll take more than that. Just a little something. It's time.
Target threat index lowered. Hide.
I want to protect everyone too.
Right over there. The light was killed my eye too. Man.
Let's begin.
Said Spud. Jerry shook his head. That guy was rolling on Molly and Coke. Who knows what else?
Reach
His
the
body
end of
probably
the
couldn't
story
handle
in
everything
your
he was
own
putting
way.
in it. But he only died after using the lighter. Because the lighter. If it's so dangerous, why don't you just get rid of it? Tried. Said Spud.
Oh, dude, that guy again. That guy's so fucked up.
It's true. So then, a few nights after the festival, we decided to drive up into the hills to scatter
Will of
Tom's ashes,
preservation.
get rid of the light. Kill two birds with one stone kind of thing. There's this scenic overlook that we all used to smoke at. Should get high up there sometime. Just as fun. Look, there's a cliff that drops straight down and you can see the whole valley from up there. It makes you
Do
contemplate
nothing of survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
When we got there, the empty Tom's burned.
Where's the blaze?
Then I chucked the lighter as hard as I could. And that sucker must have sailed 200 feet before we lost track of it.
I'm afraid of you.
We got back to the car and started to roll up. Jerry shrugged. Maybe it was this a different way. Maybe it's
No, it doesn't work.
That's right. If you're so afraid of using it accidentally, why don't you just hold down the foot until it runs out of fuel? You don't think we tried that too? I just held up a bandaged thumb. It doesn't run out.
Thanks. I'll never
Where'd you
forget
know it
you.
can really
I want to protect everyone
kill you?
too. Help me lose your child.
It's
I
and
need to be
it
brave.
will kill you. Remember what happened to Polly? Liz was with her at the vape shop when she used it. Turned to Liz, waiting for her to begin the story. But she was too enthralled to what's happening.
Just a little something.
I want to please you.
Nice teamwork.
She said. You look so soft and stout.
That's better.
Took another rip from her dab ring, and again blew out the possible cloud. Then sat back into her chair and closed her eyes. Within seconds,
Lance
she
at the
was
ready.
snoring. Liz was getting off her shift at the vape shop when her coworker Polly walked in with Graham and Northern Lights. Said at her. Once it was clear, Liz wasn't waking up anytime soon. It was kind of slow, and she was trying to get lifted before work. But she didn't have anything to smoke it with. Luckily, Liz had a pipe with her. So she told Polly to snag it off the counter when she locked up and to meet her on the back. And by the time she caught up with her, Polly was already puffing away. She passed it off to Liz to take a hit. And that's what she knows the white lighter. When she asked where she got it, Polly told her it was next to the pipe. So what happened? She dropped dead in the parking lot like that other guy?
Just a little something.
Nice teamwork.
But it was a closing sheet. 10 minutes before she was about to shut down, some crackhead came in for a smash and grab.
You know nothing of survive or
Looked her 4 times before cleaning out the register.
choice.
Poor girls. But it said, Christ, why? I don't know. And he shrugged. Because he was a paranoid tweaker? Also, let's begin. The white light. Oh yeah, because of that too. Hang on. It's a wild story, but
Reach
it's
the end
hardly
of the
evidence.
story in your
Your roommate
own
got into
way.
a car accident, which is pretty common. The dude at the festival had how many drugs in his system before his brain spazzed out? 6. Good spot, from my count at least. And as far as Liz's coworker goes, that's a really tragic, but sometimes stuff like that happens, especially when you work in seedy vape shops in the wrong side of town. Whatever, dude. He slipped the lighter into his sweatpants. You don't have to believe us. I did save your ass. Jerry nodded his head. You know, there is one solution to your white lighter problem, he said. You guys could quit smoking.
Fuck that, man. Dead Spud. I'd rather that witch set me on fire. Spud and I are gonna pick up some food. You wanna roll with us? Any chance? Jerry checked his phone and saw it was already 11:55 p.m. No thanks. I think I'm gonna smoke this joint and go home. I got work in the morning. I'll probably be gone by the time you guys get back. Adage and Spud leapt out of their seats and made their way towards the door. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a happy birthday, said Adage. Lock the door on your way out.
Jerry got up off the floor and made himself comfortable on the couch. Hey, Liz, he said, want to smoke? Her only reply was a snore. Though he looked over at her, he could see that she was still fast asleep. He rifled through the stash box again, searching for something to light his joint with. Found a purple lighter with a dragged in and
Jesus Christ, man.
flipped the switch. Then he grumbled and all the tail were sparks.
I want to protect everyone too.
He searched the table next, fumbling with magazines, peeking at fast food bags, hoping to uncover a
Nothing
hidden
of the
match
would survive or be
anything to
destroyed.
light his joint.
There is no other choice.
Didn't find a thing.
Naughty child.
What is the personality?
Lance at the
Lighter
ready.
laying around in the somewhere. He checked the couch,
I
slid
can
his
do that,
hand through
yeah.
the pillows, blindly hunted for a lighter, and might have gotten lost in the deep, dark void beneath the sofa cushion. Finally, his fingers brushed up against a familiar, rectangular shape, and he let out a celebratory, "Fuck yeah!" Pulled it free and chuckled once he realized what he was holding. In his hand was the
Let's begin.
lighter. It must have slipped out of Amish pocket when he got up to leave.
Time for a shot. Nap time.
No,
Just a little something.
the stupid lighter isn't cursed.
Lance ablaze.
He checked his phone again and saw that it was already
Happy birthday to me. But even if the lighter was cursed, it wouldn't matter anyway. He'd been 28 for a whole 3 minutes. Jerry flicked it on and watched the pitch-black spire rise once again from the top of it. He had to admit, it was pretty
I
cool.
want to protect everyone
He thought it would
too.
make a great conversation piece and pulled it out to use at a party. Maybe he would keep it. His friends wanted anything to do with it. They'd probably be happy if he took it off their hands. But the fire at the end of the joint paused one last time to admire the mysterious flame.
Time for some
Smoke
harsh.
filled his lungs, followed soon after by a burn so intense his whole chest felt like it was on fire. A cough rose up in his throat and then another. And within seconds, he was hacking so hard his eyes had started to water. His body convulsed, his face twisted into a painful scowl.
Oh my
and
God,
then
bro.
some chronic stuff. Jerry had been choking his heart at the joint.
Just
Another one of these guys.
Once he was finally through the worst of it,
Time
he
retreat.
threw himself back in his seat and took in a few frenzied gasps of air.
You know
Jerry
nothing of the
gazed up at the
survive
cloud
or
of
be
haze still
destroyed.
hovering over the
There
room.
is no other
He
choice.
decided he was way too high to operate a vehicle anymore. So
I'm on guard.
the smoke wasn't just dancing in the black.
Hide.
I want to protect everyone too.
Forming itself into a shape of living room. Looking more like a figure.
I'm in pain.
Moments later, that smoky figure resembled a fully formed woman. She looked like a ghost, body and face and face where Jerry
naughty
could
child.
still make out enough
Lance at the
to realize she was staring
ready.
Target threat undeniable.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Cold beads of sweat running down the back of his neck. In his hand, he was clutching the white lighter so tight his fingers were tingling. Jay glanced over his when she woke up. She was still snoring away. He turned back to a smoky apparition, praying that she had gone and only to let out a tiny yelp of panic. He saw that not only was she still there, but she was gliding through the air towards him. In a desperate attempt to fight back, he cocked his arm and flung the lighter at the witch. It flew through the air, passing right through the woman's chest, then clinking against the TV screen. He fell to the floor. The witch was right
I
in
want to
front of him,
protect everyone too.
her sneer even more warped and twisted than before. She reached a hand towards his face and swiped it one more time in a last attempt to protect himself, causing her arm to be split in a puff of smoke and form. In short order, it inched ever closer towards him.
You know nothing of the weight beyond survive.
But it's my
or be
birthday.
destroyed. There is
I'm
no
not
other
27
choice.
anymore.
That'll take more than that.
I'm on guard.
The
She
night.
stared at each other in awkward silence for a second before she opened her mouth. Words rolled off her lips like a discordant melody,
Shit.
plucking the chords apart but finally words out. He thought the curse had worked until he
Let's begin.
logic is that? It was in that moment she realized
Just a little something.
he tried to plead for mercy, but as soon as he opened his mouth, the
Lance
smoky
ablaze.
form rushed into it. She poured down his esophagus up through his nostrils, forcing him to gag the choke
That'll take
even
more
worse than
than
last
medicine.
time. His throat screamed with pain. It felt as if there were fingernails scratching the inside of it. Once more, he found himself desperate to take in oxygen. Jerry writhed in his seat as the witch forced her entire essence inside
Leave
of
it to
him.
me.
He punched and kicked in the air, doing everything he could to rid himself of the smoky woman. The more he struggled, the heavier his limbs got, the more his lungs felt going to explode in his chest. How long had it been since he had taken a breath? Seconds?
I
Minutes?
want to protect everyone
It's
too.
horribly agonizing. Seemed to stretch on endlessly.
Are you all right?
Before long, his vision began to fade. His thoughts started turning from desperation to silence. He threw his head back in his chair and allowed the pain to take him.
Let's begin.
His heart.
That'll take more.
Smoke trickled from the mouth and nose of Jerry's corpse and floated back up towards the ceiling of the
Reach
living
the
room.
end of the story in your own way.
The house was silent again, save for the sounds of the movie still playing on the television. Liz's eyes fluttered open. She yawned as she stretched in her seat like a cat. The first thing she noticed was that Spud and Anish were gone.
The second thing she noticed was that there was something very wrong with Jerry. He wasn't moving despite his eyes being wide open. A panic-stricken look of terror frozen on his face. He didn't react and she nudged him with her foot, so she kicked him harder, causing him to slump over on the corner of the sofa. It didn't take long to realize what had happened once she spotted the half-smoked joint on the table and a white lighter on the ground in front of the television.
Lance ablaze! Lance forward!
Time for some hardship. Good.
That'll take nap time.
Lance at the ready.
You're out. Have some
I'm not afraid of you. I want to protect everyone too. That's your fault.
Watching tonight's video or listening to tonight's episode of the podcast, if you happen to be listening to this as a podcast or as a YouTube or found this story. And as always, I would love to give a big thank you to everyone that is supporting me over on Patreon.
You know nothing but survive or be destroyed. There is no
Especially while things have been nuts for me over the past couple of months, and things have been getting crazier and crazier.
That'll take more than medicine.
There are times in our lives
Just a little something.
don't see we are. We go around thinking we know how the world works. The moments hit us like a freight train. Suddenly we realize that we know nothing at all. This is one of those instances. It's something that you weren't prepared for, no matter how much you think you could be. I thought I was. But I knew what to expect. I was wrong.
Maybe your experience will be different than mine.
Let's begin.
You can mess them up.
So, listen carefully. What follows?
Lance ablaze!
Save your life. Should you see the walk it likes the dark. This fact has been confirmed by all eyewitnesses. Some say that it's the shadows which attract the flickers. Others say the light from their embers comes first, and the darkness follows. One thing's for certain,
Leave it to
only
me.
at night will you see it. Not an ordinary night, of course, otherwise every Tom, Frank, and Harry would
Lance
see
at the
their
ready.
friend. That'd be making things easy. That's not how it works. It needs to be in the blackest night of the year. At night you can't see your hand in front of your face with that flashlight. You need to be stomach. You need to be lost.
Let's begin.
Now a map won't help.
You know
But going
nothing
deeper into the
but
woods
behind.
definitely.
Survive or be
In
destroyed.
the forest, it can
There
stay
is no
hidden.
choice.
It can trick you. This is its turn. You're just an intruder. So find a place that makes you feel uneasy when there's no signs of life or Mars. It may take some time, days perhaps, but then if you're taking this journey, you know what lies ahead. It isn't meant for the faint of heart. Your time's already stolen from you the moment you start to look. But then, it's already too late. Once you pass the last known memories of civilization. You keep going, of course, deeper into the forest.
No.
To those that do come back and change, one woman said she was enlightened. The universe suddenly turned upside down. It all made sense, she said. More than it ever had. The unknown
The
is
galaxy is
tangible,
vast beyond
but for a moment.
Stay.
Don't expect it to suddenly be understood. Expect only your world to be transformed as well. I had already seen my fair share of bad luck before I went to the woods that day, having just come out of drug rehab just a week before. The accident changed me. It rotted my insides, made me bitter. My wife gone. No longer was I a stable rock. She needed purpose. Find the fire. I asked for Trudy had been in and out of rehab several times before. So much so that the staff called it a regular customer. Bonded because
You know nothing but
broken.
survive or be destroyed.
I see glimmers of
There is no
myself.
choice.
man lost everything, struggling to keep going for no reason at all. Trudy admitted that he had tried suicide several times. Well, kept
That'll
holding
take
him
more
back.
than medicine.
He was the one who told me about the wandering campfire, the therapy session, places. The interventionist that asked anything in the world that could give him a reason to go on. Reflecting. There was hurt in his eyes. As he was trying to suppress an old wound. But at the same time, just
Find a bird shot.
I'll never forget what he said.
Lance at the ready.
Nobody has a reason to go on.
Target
We tell
threat
ourselves
index
we do,
lowered.
and then we just keep suffering.
I want to protect
Life's
everyone
pain.
too.
We accepted that death is a release. It's a give and take. You don't get that freedom unless you give up everything. That last bit of suffering. It's be hard to let go. It's fine. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hell, that's this
You
time.
take a sip of water. No sweat. No one can hear a pin drop. There's more to that. There's a story I heard, he said, looking at me with dead eyes.
That's
About a campfire that moves in the darkest forest on Earth.
Forget you.
It's a legend, probably older than all of us combined. But it's one that's always stuck with
You know nothing of the weight of
long
survive
sick,
or
burning,
destroy.
sick, beckoning anyone who dares to come find them. Offering something more freeing than death. These lonesome burning signals beckoning anyone who dares to come find it. Offering something more freeing than death. What does it give? Can't believe the staff asked this. Maybe they hoped that Trudy would break from the story and realize he was speaking gibberish. Maybe they genuinely were intrigued. I think that's the beauty of it. Hear about something more exhilarating than life and death. Something unknown. Only force more powerful. He said he didn't know. He said he never had the guts to go look.
I need to be brave.
So he told him he did. It would be beyond his comprehension.
I want to protect everyone too.
It was more terrifying than anything he'd ever experienced in life or in life. After a session, I pulled him aside, asking more about the strange wandering campfire. Something like that. It couldn't be real. And if it was, what would make it so tantalizing to risk everything? Trudy smiled. You know, the thing he was searching for.
Just a little something.
The world, you know, we both know that.
Find a bird shot.
Then he admitted how he really knew about the campfire. He'd seen it. His near-death experiences, flickering blaze, just tugging at his soul. The fire could be the end of everything. Or it could be the beginning. We don't know. We admit it. But I still don't. Of course. Not even after what I'd seen.
Jesus Christ, man. That was fast.
I brought with me supplies for 3 days. A bedroll, some water, some food. A hunting rifle to scare off wildlife. Nothing that would slow me down. Trudy had told me that once I found her, the chase would be on.
Protect everyone too.
The fire would draw me further away from reality and closer to the truth. Closest thing to the truth I'd ever experienced. I got my senses about me first, and that's why it draws you in. There's nothing about the woods that makes me attracted. It's been ages since I actually went for a hike of any kind. Not since before my accident. The world hasn't felt safe to even dare to explore, and I haven't had the energy to consider going on. But the stories of the campfire made me have that desire, a reason to keep going. And I'm never one to believe in ghosts, never even believed in gods. But made the campfire.
Find a bird shot.
People describe their experience. I knew some of them were
Just a
fake.
little something.
Those are easy enough to sift through. When you feel the leaves crunching under your feet, you know where you are. The stars and the sky start to all blend together.
Target threat index
No
lowered.
faking. I was
is what I was beginning to feel as the
I
night
want
got
to
darker.
protect everyone too.
The forest was closing in. The instructions told me to draw symbols on the forest floor. Not to help me find my way home, but help the campfire find
Nothing
me.
of the survive or be destroyed. There
The
is
first
no
sign
choice.
will be the smell.
Oh man.
Most campfires have an earthy scent, something that makes you feel connected to nature.
The galaxy is vast.
A
Beyond
soothing
compare.
aroma that makes you feel comfortable. You stand in the darkness amidst those ancient ruins of the dark. You aren't
Let's
fighting
begin.
anything. Don't look inside. The smell hits you the same way you feel when you see a dead body. Animal or human. Like you want to turn your head, vomit. I made the mistake of eating before I left the roads. So as I walked it over me, I
It's
began to
time.
curl up my guts, feeling dizzy and hard to keep myself standing. The road was spinning. I felt like it was going to fall off. It could last a few minutes or a few hours. The important thing is to go towards the smell. The pungent odor is the only evidence you have so far
That's better.
of a connection to the
Timely
beyond.
treatment.
It's the first step to recognizing this reality experience isn't so
Do
easily
nothing of the weight.
understood.
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
As you keep moving, your first encounter with the campfire will be the most difficult. You'll see a flicker of fire that's gently nudging itself in and out of
The
dark.
galaxy is vast. Beyond
Between the
compare.
trees, it's hardly visible at all. Let me tell yourself that your eyes are playing tricks on you. It'll seem as though each time you look away, the campfire will move. The key is to stay focused, no matter how much your eyes burn, or how difficult it will feel.
Leave it to me.
Your legs will be heavy,
That'll take more
your
than
hands might be numb. It'll be a black hole drawing you towards it. The closer you get, the faster it will come to you. There'll be something different for everyone the first time. There'll always be a place
Let's
to
begin.
The fire will fill you with anxiety as you get
That'll take
closer.
more than medicine.
I felt the hair on the back of my neck stick up as I stood there facing it and realized that the legend, they were all real.
Lance at the ready.
Part of me wanted to turn and run away. How far could it take me to return to the real world?
Target threat
An hour a
index
day? Can I even return at all? The mesmerizing flames told me it wouldn't be
Not a
possible.
scratch.
Leave it to me.
Instead, I would need to wait and watch. See where the campfire took me.
I'm on guard.
That journey was beyond the start. You must
The
offer
galaxy is
campfire
vast.
something
Beyond compare.
that you can't afford to lose. It's a part of the ritual that never wavers. It could be anything that was a part of your life. Important item given to you by a loved one, something you don't want to leave behind. Picture, piece of jewelry. The instructions tell you that if the offering isn't good enough, the campfire will simply diffuse until they return. They only get one chance. I didn't want to risk losing the opportunity. I took out the Swiss Army knife and held my hand near the log that was closest to the fire. The blade touched my ring finger and I closed my eyes, wondering if it would make any sense to even play.
You know nothing of the
I pressed
survive
as hard as I
or
strode,
destroy.
blood
There
spilling
is no
out of
other
the flesh was
choice.
torn away. The blade made a quick cut. It was final. I couldn't take it back.
Just a little something.
The finger was severed from my body.
Timely
At the
treatment.
same time, I pressed my bleeding hand towards my jacket, trying to hold back a scream. This was my offer. I need a fire.
Let's begin.
It's attached to flesh. I must remember.
Lance ablaze.
The golden ring that I vowed to keep for
I
one
want to protect everyone too.
last tangible connection to this world. My first big step to the world beyond. The bleeding was still throbbing through my body as I picked up the ragged piece of flesh. The inferno blazed up, clouding my vision as I covered my eyes instinctively. Then the fire began to move. It had accepted the finger and was taking me somewhere else. I I only but a moment to grab my things and rush through the woods towards it. Wish I hadn't. I wish I hadn't taken this insane journey.
Leave it to me.
There is no turning back.
You know nothing of the way. Survive or be destroyed.
More so than ever
There is no
before.
other choice.
Past the point of no return, the wandering campfire was guiding me to the ultimate truth of existence. And I was dragged towards it like a fish or hook it. As we move forward, have you ever driven a long, dark The time that shows a glimmer of light, walls blend over and over.
Let's begin.
As you go further down.
Naughty child, nasty. Just a little something.
Trees and twist themselves apart
Nice teamwork.
and then fall back into place as the campfire moves. At first it will be a gentle flow. The ground itself won't move. At least I won't seem to. The closest way to describe it is walking on something. We were down that same path over and over. A carrot dangling in your face that tells you you will reach the finish.
Lance the blaze.
Step towards the campfire. Then the fire will start to feel further away. Again, nothing will change around you. You begin to walk towards it. They feel as though the forest is going to reverse. Except every part of you knows that you're going forward. Trying to reach inescapable.
We have fights. No.
It's tantalizingly offering you. And then the forest will continue to fall away. The trees, the sky, the stars. Eventually nothing will be left. Except for the campfire itself. The darkness of the ground will make you think you're falling. You can't stop it. It's rushing towards you again. You feel that you're gonna fall into the blaze. Finally, you're exactly where the force of nature wants you. The fire's large, almost as if it's encompassing the entire forest. And then you'll need to sit and wait.
What?
There's nothing to sit on, of course. Only darkness. Better keep your eyes closed, trust that you don't fall. The rest will happen automatically. Feel that you're sitting in a cold, hard chair, and the fire will flicker and invite you to touch it. There won't be any warmth. You'll feel colder than you've ever felt in your entire life. A sense of dread will wash over you. You'll feel that you're constantly waiting for something. All sense of time, night and day, anything you once were clinging to, it's gonna be gone. And then across the fire, you'll see a figure. A darkness that stands tall and silently across the fire. An evil that you know is from beyond any hell you could ever conjure up.
You know nothing of the weight behind. Survive or be
Yes,
destroyed.
ambushed a lot.
Hot coal burning my skin. I couldn't speak. I knew that the instructions told me I shouldn't. It was the time to listen. The shadow was me talking. It uttered my name first, as it seemed to sit down. And on the nod of a breath of icy air hitting my bones. You understand where you are, it added. I couldn't help but be surprised. It was offering me the chance to answer something I was sure I wasn't supposed to do. Instead, I kept quiet as it repeated the question several times until at last it became angry and tossed embers toward my face.
Story in your own way.
If you don't know, then what brought you here? The fires hit me and I instinctively screamed. I thought that moment was my last in this life. Instead, the shadow simply lingered, waiting for me to actually tell my story. I was in an accident about 12 months ago, I said, hardly recognizing my own voice. Was I doing the talking, or was it still the shadow? It felt as though we both shared the same resonance in that moment.
Yeah, it's easy to get boxes now.
My wife and I
Probably boxes.
Let's be going to this function.
That'll take
It's a
more than
horrible
that.
storm. I told her that she shouldn't go. She insisted that it mattered, but the ice on the road. The black ice.
couldn't see. I hit it hard. My reflexes got the better of
Whoa.
the heart.
Protect everyone too.
I tumbled end over end down the
Come
highway.
on. I wanna hit. I wanna hit.
I felt everything. Intense pain shook through my body.
Just
Kept me awake as I saw bodies piling up around me.
Timely treatment.
Another one?
I'm on guard.
Full of children.
I need to be brave.
You know nothing of the survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
The news called it the worst accident in the history of the state in the past 10 years.
The galaxy is vast beyond
I don't know if
compare.
that's true, but I died. So everything that I ever loved, taken from me. As one of the few still standing. One of the few that crawled out with hardly anything but bruises. People told me it was God. You know, a miracle. Got me appreciated.
I just
that'll
lost
take
him.
more.
It's time.
How can I know?
I'm not afraid
I
of
turned
you.
to suicide.
I want to protect everyone too.
Everlastingly satisfied. I don't believe any of those answers.
I know.
I think I had to come here to find this fire beyond, so
That'll take more than now.
Lance at the ready. Lance the
I can
blaze.
understand.
Lance forward.
As I finished my story, silence loomed between us. The figure stood there staring at it wearily at the campfire, saying nothing, trying to determine if I should live or if
No,
I
I
should die.
lost it.
I wanted my suffering to end. I wanted
Another
absolution.
one.
Instead, a cold, dead laugh rumbled through the dark.
You know nothing of the survive or be destroyed.
I was suddenly aware that my suffering, my very existence, is meaningless.
Just a
In the
little.
grand universe, my problems, my heartbreak,
I'm on guard.
will be eventually consumed by fire, much like the one sitting in front of me. Nothingness is eternal. Misery and pain and life.
Let's begin.
Endlessness is the only absolute surrounding anything. When you kept living, you thought it meant you had purpose. You thought it might mean your life had a reason.
I'm not afraid of
No
you.
life did. Nothing
Time for some hardship.
that. Existence is king. The shadow tells me as a weight tall.
Survive or be
Long,
destroyed.
slender arms reaching up beyond the view of the fire, like a spider's legs reaching for a prone fly that was caught in a web. Then those arms morphed into claws, razor-sharp tendrils that began to snake their way towards me. Let me offer you the freedom of non-existence. The shadow rumbled. As the entire forest began to push its way back towards us, it felt that I was being swallowed whole by the woods. The trees were melting into twisted and rotten flesh, sliding down to the ground and becoming black and burnt fingers that were reaching to drag me to the inferno. The branches snapped and turned towards me, the hollow wood morphing into the faces of people that I had hurt.
That'll take more. Just a little something.
All snarl and snap, jagged faces.
Lance the blaze.
No matter the moment of suffering that I was enduring,
I want to protect everyone too.
the reflection of my wife's face came into the campfire. Her soft eyes urged me to action. And then those same comfortable eyes turned dead cold, drained. Everything. This was all that the campfire would ever offer me. He was all that anyone could ever grasp or understand.
Lance at the
The
ready.
shadow was covering the entire sky, its laughter echoing through the forest. Sharp spikes rippled across the floor, and the canopy became filled with falling knives. My back was torn to ribbons. My running soon became a crawl. I was falling to the earth into the eternal wandering blaze. All it wanted was my suffering to fuel the flames. My legs hit the fire. scarring my back, ankles, and feet first as I screamed and fought. The shadow kept lurching forward, towering over me as molten fire dripped onto my face. This is what I wanted. To suffer for my life, to pay for what I felt was my fault. But was this hell my freedom? Was my life null and void? Something stirred deep inside me. I pushed my way towards the flames even further. I recognized this was the sacrifice I should have offered. My very soul. And only then would I get the absolution I sought. Flames engulfed my body as I struggled to cover my eyes. The campfire grew larger and
Nothing of the weight
behind
behind
the roaring
survive
fire.
or be destroyed.
I was falling deeper into depths of darkness, melt away all of reality. I was rising. Pushing up back to the ground, spitting and sputtering like a newborn. I was hardly able to move as the fire disappeared. Charred and blackened body. I was nothing. And then I was opening my eyes and
Lance ablaze!
So much younger. She was standing at the campfire, about to jump in. She was telling me that it was going to be okay. Move on. Live and love. That's what my existence needed to be. Promised her I would. Promised I would make sense of the chaos. Before sky could be. The lonesome woods.
I'm on guard!
I lay there for days, maybe, before other hope was found.
Nothing of the weight survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
I was taken to heal, but part of me stayed there even now. I still feel the fire everywhere.
Just a little
Burns inside. My soul is part of this eternal, endless chaos. It's consuming everything.
I want to protect everyone too.
I saw it there beyond death. The endless madness that would devour us all. She was waiting in the fire. It was the shadow. It's now inside me. Carrying the fire rod, sharing my experiences to others who hunger for that freedom. Enticing them to seek out the unknown. The campfire will grow. It will always move and make use of the weak and the fragile. But most importantly of all, it'll burn. It'll burn the world. Hey there kids, it's me, Mr. Creepypasta, and I want to tell you thanks so much for watching tonight's video or listening to tonight's episode of the podcast if you happen to be listening to this as a podcast or as a YouTube or however else you managed to have found this story for tonight. And as always, I would love to give a big thank you to everyone who's supporting me over on Patreon. You guys are the real MVPs. You guys keep things going, especially, well, things have been nuts for me over the past couple of months, and things have been getting crazier and crazier as time goes on. You guys are the ones who are keeping me sane, and I mean that with all sincerity, that you guys have helped me immensely. So, in my personal life and my professional life, I want to give a very big thank you to Jordan Alexander Sanchez, Jacob Bensky, Chance Burnett, Diana Krause, Lakeda Gonzalez, Mr. B. Foster Pedal Squeezer, Caddis, Joseph Calarudo, Ruda B, Dante Kincaid, Foxhound 803, Mephistopheles, Curse Fox Primark, Bastion Beefcake, Dr. Joe's Cultist, Love You M&M, Insanity Gamer X, Jesus Cornell, Yargul, Emma Court, Jay Kearns, Hingo Jerry, Sama High, Crusader Chocobo, Adamarius, Captain Scurvy, Escabine, Raven Morris, Nate Cull, Our Mini Sack Time, Angelus, Seclu, That Creepy Show, Red Shadow Cat, Xavier and Giant, 6 Day Raptor Crypto, Turtleman, Fairlane, Lord Life Special, Roaring Car Magazine, Mr. Marcus Blitz, Michael Linshaw, Dirt Diver 030, Matt Cox, Knights of Sand, Kelly J, Packamel, Getting Your Account, Melton Lake, Holly Sue, William King, Sashi Suzuki, Cricket, Freddy Krueger, Happy Birthday Jason Wilson, Mr. Cassell, Caspian, 80's Nephew, Tater Chip, Acid System, Mom, Hugh the Sloth, Dr. Lampshade, Nico Kyle, The Ginger Bros, and Storm Crow, Daniel Paulson, and Corey Tension. To everyone on this list, everyone in the description, and of course anyone who could support even just $1, thank you all so much for making my life significantly easier with this. And if you guys would like to be able to join any of the names that you see here or down there or anything at all, head over to patreon.com/MrCreepyPasta. And with that, I wish you all a very
very pleasant night and sweet dreams.
How is everyone doing? For those of you who may not know, my name's Oren. I come from a different dimension, universe. I'm here to warn you about the void. An ever-hungering dimensional swallower. Currently, I'm on the cusp of knowing how to stop it for good before it's too late. Sorry for the long wait, my friend. I had to go on a mental break due to lust. Brought up scars that take much infected me. Only I have the mental fortitude to withstand anything.
Remembering
Remembering the past. It's painful, to say the least. But I digress. Last night I went through my memory banks to see what I could have missed. And I found a dimension I've been to that you could help with removing the void. However, this event is not for the faint of heart. After what happened with the last visit, I traveled to another place. I must have repressed this dimension entirely. I don't remember any of what happened until I found the file. It all starts off where the last story left off. A blinding flash of light. As I was moving to the white zone, which I've dubbed Tabula Rasa,
Oh wait.
it's a story of a young girl